Hello everyone, MarkyJoe1990 here with
Lady Tina.
And this is the demo to Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. This is created by Koji Igarashi, and let me just give you a bit of backstory on this. Koji Igarashi is the creator of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and he also went and made all the Castlevanias from that point up to Order of Ecclesia. Afterwards, Konami sort of was like, dude, your games aren't selling, let's give it to this other guy and make Castlevania into a God of War clone, or something equally as lame. So, eventually Koji Igarashi was like, man, I'm not gonna stand for this anymore, I'm leaving Konami. So he did, and then he was jobless for a while, and he basically kept himself afloat by making you know those church windows? The stained glass?
Stained glass windows?
Yeah, he would make stained glass art for people. It's really cool.
That's awesome.
But yeah, for a while he was out of the market, and then he was like, dudes, I need to go back and make video games. I want to make another one again. My passion has been reinvigorated ever since Keiji Inafune, my good friend back in Capcom, started a Kickstarter for his Mega Man spiritual successor, Mighty Number 9, which, as we know now, flopped, but, I mean, at the time, it seemed like a good idea. But, yeah, so, Koji Igarashi starts a Kickstarter for Bloodstained. It becomes one of the most funded Kickstarters in history at, $5,500,000.
He got that much? I thought it was, wasn't his original, $2 million, or even $1 million?
His original goal was $500,000 or something. That was
well
it.
Done.
Yeah, people really were starved for a new Castlevania exploration game.
No, I know I was. I love Castlevania franchise.
Yeah, many people call this a Metroidvania, but Koji Igarashi was thinking more about Zelda rather than the Metroid series when he was making an exploration-based Castlevania. So he prefers to call it Igavania.
That's fine with me, because I love Zelda too, as you all know.
So yeah, this was very successful. I backed $60 on it, so that means I get the special edition, and I get to play the demo. And, I've already played it. I have very high hopes for this game. And it's looking up to be very good. So let's get started, shall we?
Yeah.
So I know everything, so let's just...
You know everything?
Yeah, I know everything about this game.
Oh, I see.
It hasn't come out, but I know everything.
Alright, you have to clarify.
I know who the final boss is gonna be.
Well, shh, don't tell anyone. No spoilers until we get there.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we have a little bit of lag, but that's fine. Yeah, this tutorial stuff is just do this basic thing that every game tells you to do.
That is a very different background for a Castlevania game. It looks like a barn. No. Are they on a boat? That's
it's a boat.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it looks really awesome.
Yeah.
Just like any Castlevania game, you destroy candles, you knock the heads off of ghouls, and you jump on platforms. I mean, it's not reinventing the wheel here. The visuals are amazing, and the controls are pretty much exactly what you would expect from an Igavania. And as you can see, our main character really likes kicking squids in the face.
Truly looked pained when she kicked him, oh, bitch.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I wouldn't want to get kicked in the face like that. It looks painful.
So she's the Black Widow of the story.
Well, no.
From the Avengers?
The story of Miriam is that... Well, actually, I forgot what it was.
Well, I'm talking about from the Avengers, that's what she does. She kicks people. That's her thing.
If I remember right, the story of our main character, Miriam, that's her art. She looks really awesome.
It's gorgeous.
Her story is that she was embedded with crystals and stuff, and now she can get crystals like this one.
No, wait. What just happened?
I got a crystal. Sometimes monsters will turn into crystals and then shoot themselves into you, very violently, might I add, and then you gain their power.
Turn into crystals?
Well, it is random chance.
Alright.
You know what? I'm not gonna mess with that guy. I'm gonna head down. But yeah, once you get a demon's crystal, then their powers become yours. So that guy, he gave me this ability. I can shoot water, which is not a very exciting ability, but...
You can put out fires.
Yeah, those ectoplasms that I just fought, which, let's be clear here, they're definitely ectoplasms, even though they're named otherwise. Oh yeah, here you can learn to slide.
Oh.
Wow, amazing. And you'd think Like, there's a stairway here. You'd think you'd be able to break this wall, but nope. That's not the case.
It's like the Winchester Mansion.
But yeah, like, I guess you could, I'm not super informed on Miriam's story. I didn't care so much about it. So, I mean, just look it up. Oh, geez, this guy. Yeah, let's kick him in the face. I just realized I'm still fighting people with my legs when I have a sword. Also, we got another ability. This one is an R-based ability. You'll find out what I mean in a moment. So yeah, you can aim this ability with the right stick, and then you press the shoulder button, and bam! Fire, baby!
So she can manipulate things that fire, like firearms, or?
Well, no. She gained an ability from that monster that allows her to shoot fire from her hands.
Alright.
And now we have a weapon. Yay! Look at that. Look at that. It's such a very graceful looking animation.
Yeah, it's quite...
Now, unfortunately, for some reason, physical weapons do not work very well against these guys, so you gotta put them out like a fire.
Because they're not of the physical realm.
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. Yeah, so what do you think so far? Looks just like a Castlevania game, right?
I think the background is stunning. I don't like it. It's a little convoluted for me with having to go up to that, what's your itinerary, item screen or eye screen or whatever. That thing, and having to decide all that stuff. But it's probably just because it's not familiar to me.
It's not that complicated. Like, if you want to change your equipment, you just go to that, and then you just look through your shit, and then look, ooh, a ring. Let's put that on. Look all fancy.
I want a ring.
There we go. And now she has a ring. Yay!
And what does it do? Just look pretty?
It just gives you extra defense, so you take less damage from enemies.
Okay, good. Like the blue ring in Zelda?
Yeah, basically. I'm being a dummy and getting hit by an easy-to-avoid enemy.
Well, that was fairly easy.
Oh, headband. Okay, so this one's interesting because when you wear it on your head, it actually shows on the character. I mean, there you go. She's got a little flower on her head.
Oh, pretty.
Yeah, she's looking stylish and profile-ish.
I like this. See, just because you're going out and kicking ass doesn't mean you should not look good for the role.
That's actually what they said during the conference. Like, we know she's kicking Demon Tail, but that doesn't mean she can't look good while doing it.
You're damn right.
Whoa! I did not know that this breakable wall was here. Holy cow!
Well, now you know. What'd you get?
I got a potion and a high ether. Would have been more exciting if I got a super item, like, oh damn, look at this fiddle stick that you can swing at people. Alright, hold on a moment. There's something over here.
How do you know?
Because the map says so.
Oh.
And that's literally the only way I can progress.
And the map...
Did I mess something up? Oh boy.
Well, will it allow you to mess something up? Or is it, like, idiot-proof?
I assume it's idiot-proof.
Because I hated those games where if you missed one thing, then you had to start over.
Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna head the other way. Because I have a feeling yeah, you know what? I think I know what I did wrong. I'm supposed to head this way and continue where the cannon shot.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
So yeah, I guess I should get into the nuances of the controls. Miriam pretty much plays exactly like, I'd say Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, except she has some things that you could do in Symphony of the Night as well, like aim your swing. You can aim it downwards. You can't aim it anywhere else, but that's fine because I feel like one of the things about Castlevania is that you're not supposed to be able to aim. You're supposed to, like, use your other weapons to kind of, like, cover up your weaknesses.
You could aim in Symphony of the Night, couldn't you, with the whip? Maybe
well,
it wasn't Symphony of the Night.
Congratulations, Mom. You showed how little you know about Castlevania. There's a whip in Symphony of the Night, right? And what's the main character's name? Drake?
I thought it was Jake.
It's Alucard.
Alucard, Dracula Batman.
Alucard? Come on.
Shut up.
Oh my god. Yeah, so I've played this game, like, I came into this knowing what to expect, and this is not a blind playthrough. I brought Mom in so that she would have her first impressions. And probably by this point, you've probably noticed that they've been throwing a lot of the same enemies at us.
Yeah, that's a little dull. Oh, those are creepy.
Yeah, they are creepy. But yeah, like, it's mainly just shelves with enemies on it, and most of them don't really do much. So that is a complaint I have about what I've seen so far is that like the level design feels like it could be more interesting and difficult. Ooh, we got kung fu shoes. Time to use a much worse weapon.
How do you know? Where does it say? I didn't see that.
All right, so basically, see, I have my thing hovered on the longsword.
Yeah.
Look over at my attack.
No.
That's how much damage I do.
I meant-
Notice how it goes down?
Right. Okay. No, what I mean is, when you open those treasure chests, how did you know what the item was? Like in Zelda.
Because this is not
like
a blind playthrough.
Grandiose.
I've played this before.
But so you don't know until you look in your itinerary screen or whatever this thing is called?
Oh my god.
Shh. I'm asking you a valid question, I feel.
Okay, when you open a treasure chest,
Yeah.
it tells you what you got on the bottom left.
Oh, see,
there's
that's
there's
why, 'cause
text that's
my
like,
water-
you got a thing.
My water bottle was blocking the way, that's why.
Now that said, that does highlight a bit of another issue is that like when you get an item, shouldn't it pop out of the chest?
Yes, I think that's much more exciting. You want to be invested in this and just to see, oh, you got kung fu shoes. I want to see those shoes. I want there to be sparkles and fireworks.
Well, I mean, I'm wearing them right now, so now you can see them.
Well, no, it's not the same though. Even in Zelda, you couldn't really make it out, but it said, you got the key, and everybody's like, yeah, and
Well, that's not the issue. The issue is showing the item's icon. That's what you want.
yeah.
I mean, it tells you what it is. It's just like doesn't show it. Show don't tell, as they say.
Right, like the rusty toenail, you know, is the boomerang, but that's what you know what it looks like in Zelda.
Right. So the reason the kung fu shoes are worse than the longsword is mainly because it has less range and it usually does less damage. Most enemies are kind of neutral towards the kick shoes. They're not like weak to them in particular. So as a result, these guys, for example, take 2 hits instead of 1. Like here's a comparison. Those guys took 2 hits. This thing has less attack power, but it still kills them in 1 hit.
So why would you use them?
Well, that's kind of what I'm wondering. The only time the kung fu shoes are useful is when you're fighting like the heavily armored mace dudes.
All right.
Everything else, it just does less damage than the longsword. Like this guy, see, I did 8 damage, and I think I did 12 damage for no reason. And then, once I use these, 12 damage consistently.
As opposed to...
Doing 8.
Oh.
Alright, so, there we go. Kicking more candles. Yeah, so that's just my main complaint with the demo is that I feel like the level design's a bit bland, but I mean, this game is going to have a difficult mode, so I assume that's going to become more interesting when that happens. It's just that I'm looking at this from the perspective of a beginner who would be like, who probably wouldn't notice the issues, I guess, but at the same time, like, when you look at other, like first stages in a game, they usually tend to be more concise and polished than this.
Yeah, this is kind of...
Now, I don't want to get too big on it, because, like, that's really just one complaint out of all the million other good shit I have to say. Whoop. And here's the boss.
Now, is this a mini game or...
This is just a demo.
Okay, but is this the actual game that he was going to make for the $5 million, or is this like a mini game like a...
This is going to be a full game.
Okay, so this is the actual game.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're playing as this chick the whole time?
There are actually 3 playable characters.
Okay.
So yeah, those of you who are familiar with Castlevania would be familiar with the trick I'm using to attack this person. I'm using land canceling. Also, yeah, like, because it cancels my animation and allows me to attack way faster. Also, I just totally went into that guy's face. Oops. Because I'm using a Logitech controller, sometimes the controls mess up.
I think that's a woman, and I'm not going to tell you why I think it's a woman.
Oh, and I won. Yeah, you can actually kill this boss before she even goes into, like, finishes that second phase. And yes, I do agree. The floppy water balloon breast is not exactly, like... It's not exactly a graceful thing. I find it kind of immersion breaking. Like, they should definitely, like, fix that and make the breasts smaller and less, like, dead or alive.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the demo. That's, hopefully I got everything I needed to say. I apologize for not being able to expand upon the backstory and, like, explain it, like, of the game itself and our character. I would recommend looking that up, but, I mean, I feel like the gameplay more than anything should speak for itself. Hopefully, the criticisms I have for it will, like, be heard, and then we'll have, like, I'd say, I feel like if we're gonna improve the level design, we should make it, I guess, like, Order of Ecclesia, maybe? Or, like, just take influence from the classic Castlevania games where they take enemies, put them in clever placements, and kind of combine them with other enemies to, like, give you these unique scenarios. Just to kind of place the player in like, difficult scenarios where they need to use their creativity. Like, as you saw, I dealt with almost every enemy by just slashing them once and then they sort of died.
Right.
Meanwhile, there was that one armored enemy who's, you know, you have to fight him by moving to the left when he swings his thing, and then continue attacking him afterward. Which, you know, that's something. But I feel like the other enemies could have used a bit more intrigue to them.
Yeah.
Because the squids don't do anything unless you let them deliberately. And I'm pretty sure nobody would do that unless they were curious.
Are you curious? No, you're not.
I was curious once, and all they do is shoot a very short-range water spurt attack.
So,
that barely damages you.
Kind of unimaginative to the point where we didn't even see that once in this, I don't think.
Yeah, like, that's just the main thing. I feel like that's the one thing that needs improving. I guess also the boss could have been better. Like, even when I first fought the boss, she didn't seem to attack very often, and some attacks, like the one where she slams the ship, it's just like she doesn't do anything, and it doesn't affect you in any way except make you lower on the screen.
Well, just remember, it is the first boss.
Yeah, and, you know, this is also a demo. So these criticisms, I mean, in the full version of the game, they could be totally invalid for all I know.
Are you a beta player? Can you give your feedback? Or is that, or they just gave you the demo because you made that donation?
Well, they are asking for feedback, so in a way I am...
Well, good.
In a sense,
you can let your thoughts be known and see if they take you up on them.
Yeah. So yeah, there we go. That's Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. I'm very excited for this game. There were so many things that were, like, introduced in the Kickstarter. In that one game,
yeah. What do you mean?
Well, like, the Kickstarter, like, they funded so many features. They funded the whole thing. Like, everything that they wanted in the game gets to be put in the game. And they had some crazy ideas, like a randomized castle. Like a procedurally generated castle.
Wow.
Where each experience is new. And one where you play as the bosses and fight the main character, which is hilarious. But yeah.
I like it.
If you guys are interested, I'll link to the Kickstarter in the description. Have a good day.